Hello, Michael here, looking again today at Prayer and Spiritual Warfare, a book penned by Charles Spurgeon. And we're getting into book 1, The Power of Prayer. And so we're looking at chapter 4, titled Pleading. But I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O God. Thou art my help and my deliverer. O Lord, make no tarrying. And so we're on to the subsection of chapter 4, and it's titled A Soul Pleading. Second, after the soul has unburdened itself of all weights of merit and self-sufficiency, it proceeds to pray, and we have before us a soul pleading. I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O God. Thou art my help and my deliverer. O Lord, make no tarrying. The careful reader will perceive 4 pleas in this single verse. Upon this topic, I would remark that it is the habit of faith, when it is praying, to use pleas. Mere prayer says, who do not pray at all, forget to argue with God. However, those who would prevail bring forth their reasons and their strong arguments, and they debate the question with the Lord. Those who play at wrestling catch here and there at random, but those who are really wrestling have a certain way of grasping the opponent, a certain mode of throwing, and the like. They work according to order and rule. Faith's art of wrestling is to plead with God and say with boldness, let it be thus and thus, for these reasons. Hosea tells us of Jacob and Jabbok that there he spake with us. Hosea 12:4. From this I understand that Jacob instructed us by his example. Now the 2 pleas that Jacob used were God's precept and God's promise. First he said, Thou saidest unto me, return unto thy country and to thy kindred. Genesis 32:9. He as much as put it this way, Lord, I am in difficulty, but I have come here through obedience to you. You told me to do this. Now, since you command me to come here into the very teeth of my brother Esau, who comes to meet me like a lion, Lord, you cannot be so unfaithful as to bring me into danger and then leave me in it. This was sound reasoning, and it prevailed with God. Then Jacob also urged a promise. Thou saidest, I will surely do thee good. Verse 12. Among men, it is a masterly way of reasoning when you can challenge your opponent with his own words. You may quote other authorities, and he may say, I deny their force. But when you quote a man against himself, you foil him completely. When you bring a man's promise to his mind, he must either confess himself to be unfaithful and changeable, or if he holds to being the same and being true to his word, you have him, and you have won your will of him. Oh friends, let us learn to plead the precepts, the promises, and whatever else may serve our case. But let us always have something to plead. Do not think that you have prayed unless you have pleaded. For pleading is the very marrow of prayer. He who pleads well knows the secret of prevailing with God, especially if he pleads the blood of Jesus, for that unlocks the treasury of heaven. Many keys fit many locks, but the master key is the blood and the name of him who died, but rose again and ever lives in heaven to save to the uttermost. Faith's pleas are plentiful, and this is well, for faith is placed in various positions and need them all. Faith will boldly plead all God's gracious relationships. It will say to him, Are you not the Creator? Will you forsake the work of your own hands? Are you not the Redeemer? You have redeemed your servant. Will you cast him away? Faith usually delights to lay hold upon the fatherhood of God. This is generally one of the master points. When it brings this into the field, it wins the day. You are a father, and would you chasten us as though you would kill us? A father, and will you not provide? A father, and have you no sympathy and no heart of compassion? A father, and can you deny what your own child asks of you? Whenever I am impressed with the divine majesty and so perhaps a little dispirited in prayer, I find that the short and sweet remedy is to remember that although he is a great king and infinitely glorious, I am his child. And no matter who the father is, the child may always be bold with his father. Yes, faith can plead any and all of the relationships in which God stands to his chosen. Faith too can ply heaven with the divine promise. Suppose you went to a bank and saw a man go in and lay a piece of paper on the table and pick it up again and nothing more. If he did that several times a day, I think there would soon be orders issued to the guard to keep the man out because he is merely wasting the clerk's time and doing nothing purposeful. Those who come to the bank in earnest present their check, wait until they have received their money, and then leave, but not without having transacted real business. They do not put the paper down, speak about the excellent signature, and discuss the correctness of the document. They want their money for it, and they are not content without it. These are the people who are always welcome at the bank, and not the triflers. Alas, a great many people play at praying. It is nothing better, I say, than play at praying. They do not expect God to give them an answer, and thus they are mere triflers who mock the Lord. He who prays in a businesslike way, meaning what he says, honors the Lord. The Lord does not play at promising. Jesus did not sport at confirming the word by his blood, and we must not make a jest of prayer by going about it in a listless, unexpected spirit. The Holy Spirit is in earnest, and we must also be in earnest. We must go for a blessing and not be satisfied until we have it. Like the hunter who is not satisfied because he has run so many miles, but is never content until he takes his prey. Faith, moreover, pleads the performances of God. It looks back on the past and says, Lord, you delivered me on such and such an occasion. Will you fail me now? It, moreover, takes its life as a whole and pleads this way. After so much mercy past, wilt thou let me sink at last? Have you brought me this far so that I may be put to shame at the end? Faith knows how to bring out the ancient mercies of God, and it makes them arguments for our present favors. But your time would all be gone if I tried to exhibit even 1,000th part of faith's pleas. Sometimes, however, faith pleas are very singular, as in this text. It is by no means according to the proud rules of human nature to plead. I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O God. It is like another prayer of David. Pardon my iniquity, for it is great. It is not the manner of men to plead this way. They say, Lord, have mercy on me, for I am not so bad a sinner as some. But faith reads things in a truer light and bases its pleas on truth. Lord, because my sin is great, and you are a great God, let your great mercy be magnified in me. You know the story of the Syrophoenician woman. That is a grand instance of the ingenuity of faith's reasoning. See Matthew 15, 22 to 28. She came to Christ about her daughter, and he answered her not a word. What do you think her heart said? Why, she said in herself, It is well, for he has not denied me. Since he has not spoken at all, he has not refused me. With this for an encouragement, she began to plead again. Soon Christ spoke to her sharply, and then her brave heart said, I have gained words from him at last. I will have deeds from him by and by. That also cheered her. Then when he called her a dog, she reasoned, but a dog is part of the family. It has some connection with the master of the house. Though it does not eat meat from the table, it gets the crumbs under it, and so I have. You know, great master, dog as I am, the great mercy that I ask of you, great as it is to me, is only a crumb to you. Grant it then, I implore you. Could she fail to have her request? Impossible. When faith has a will, it always finds a way, and it will win the day when all things forebode defeat. Faith's plea are singular, but let me add, faith's plea are always sound. After all, it is a very telling plea to urge that we are poor and needy. Is that not the main argument with mercy? Necessity is the very best plea with benevolence, either human or divine. Is not our need the best reason we can urge? If we would have a physician come quickly to a sick man, Sir, we say, it is no common case. He is on the point of death. Come to him, come quickly. If we wanted our fireman to rush to a fire, we would not say to them, Make haste, for it is only a small fire. On the contrary, we would urge that it is an old house, full of combustible materials, and there are rumors of petroleum and gunpowder on the premises. Besides, it is near a timber yard. Hosts of wooden cottages are close by, and before long we have only half the city in a blaze. We put the case in as bad a light as we can. Oh, for wisdom to be equally wise in pleading with God, to find arguments everywhere, but especially to find them in our necessities. It was said 2 centuries ago that the trade of beggary was the easiest one to carry on, but that it paid the worst. I am not sure about the latter at this time, but certainly the trade of begging from God is a hard one, and undoubtedly it pays the best of anything in the world. It is very noteworthy that beggars with men usually have plenty of pleas on hand. When a man is driven hard and starving, he can usually find a reason why he should ask aid of every likely person. Suppose it is a person to whom he is already under many obligations. Then the poor creature reasons, I may safely ask of him again, for he knows me and has always been very kind. If he never asked of the person before, then he says, I have never worried him before. We cannot say we have already done all we can for me. He cannot say he has already done all he can for me. I will be bold to begin with him. If it is one of his own kin, then he says, Surely you will help me in my distress, for you are a relative. And if it is a stranger, he says, I have often found strangers kinder than any of my own blood. Help me, I entreat you. If he asks of the rich, he pleads that they will never miss what they have given. And if he begs of the poor, he urges that they know what want means, and he's sure they will sympathize with him in his great distress. Oh, that we were half as much on the alert to fill our mouths with arguments when we are before the Lord. How is it that we are not half awake and do not seem to have any spiritual senses aroused? May God grant that we may learn the art of pleading with the eternal God, for by that we will prevail with him through the merit of Jesus Christ.